DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, it's Sunday evening, and I've got the two screens with Dave Nicholson's two tags that he put up this weekend. One is his usual Dave's tag with 7 questions now. What used to be before 10 is now 7. And there's another one which is called 5 questions for you. So we'll see if we can get those. I would make 12. So let's start. So on Dave's tag, question 1: what is your happiest memory? I think I've already answered this one, but if I recall correctly, and so what's coming to my mind right now is the birth of the children. But of course, there's always a first, and the birth of the first child. Mrs. DC sadly had a planned cesarean, but that meant that I had an even bigger part to take care. I was there to reception the child when he came out of the operating room, so I wasn't there for the actual birth in this case, and wash him and everything. And being a parent for the first time is overwhelming. Okay. What makes you sad? A lot of things could make me sad, but I think it's when those closest to you are feeling grieved for whatever reason. And I don't mean grief by death, but it could be, where they're affected. I think it's even more when my family is affected. That would make me sad. Question 3. What motivates you to live a meaningful life? Well, I mean, my family, my faith. I was going to say the fact that I know that I am loved, both by my family and by God. Yeah, and I mean, all that comes out or flows out of that love is what motivates me to live a meaningful life. And what is a meaningful life? It's helping, loving others. Yeah. Question 4. How can you make your community a better place? Well, when I started, I was going to say my career, I thought, that I'd be doing loads of things, that would help for health, for all type of things. And if you've ever worked in research, you should know this. And if you are thinking about working in research, you should know this as well, is that you've got a 99.9999% failure rate in those things. You got to learn to live with failure, which doesn't mean actually that you are a failure. You got to learn to live with failures, and then eventually there'll probably be one thing that'll work or will help in other people's success. So make the community a better place. I've done a lot of volunteer work within the church. I would say helping people just by being, I was going to say, a friendly person is one thing. Being there to talk with people, but even more being there to listen with people. But like I say, for many, many years, I've done a lot of community work within the church. Okay, question 5. What are you most afraid of, and how are you conquering this fear? I don't usually talk about fears, and I don't think I will much more now. It's not actually other people's business to know what I'm mostly afraid of. But conquering fear actually is a question of faith. I'll just leave it at that. Using your faith and your beliefs. Question 6. What is your favorite place in the world? Well, I was going to say one of my favorite places, there's two, I'll have to say two. One is sitting around the table with my family. So, the table with my family. The second one is, you probably, those who know me would guess it would be Ireland. Yeah, I really love that place. Question 7. What is the greatest lesson you've learned about life so far? Don't try and be first. Be you. Okay. So those are the 7 questions from Dave's tag. Now let's move on. Hey, wow. 5 minutes something. I'm learning to be faster in all of these things, I guess. I've often taken the tags as an occasion to vlog, and I guess I will continue to do it that way. Okay. And this is the 5-question tag. So 5 questions for you. Question 1. What would you do if given $500? Used to be $500 was a lot of money. Now it isn't anymore. If I've given $500, I don't really know right now. I probably put it in the bank because I got so many things coming up now that I would probably need it. But if I was going to spend it on something like for electronics for my cameras. Okay. Question 2. Who do you feel the most relaxed with? I would say it would be Mrs. DC. I mean, we've been together this year. We'll be boyfriend girlfriend for together so as a couple, and when we were going out together for 50 years. Yeah. So we're just used to being together. Question 3. Do you often think of your mortality? I don't know if I'd say often. I do think about it sometimes. I guess that one of the things is that when you have, I'm arriving at retirement, so I know that, there's less ahead of me than there was behind me, put it that way. And you think of your mortality when you start having grandchildren, where you wonder, how much of their life will I see, on Earth with them. So yeah, every now and then, yeah. Question 4. When do you eat? Oh, this is a very different register. When do you eat your big meal of the day? That's changed. It used to be in the evening because very simply I would be working. Well, actually, I would have a 2.5 hour commute. And so I would basically have a small meal at lunch and eat in the evening. Nevertheless, with the family, we'd eat very late when that would happen. But it would be important for me to eat with the family. Now, especially since I'm retired, it's at lunch. Question 5. Do you take public transportation regularly? Especially since I live in Switzerland. We've got very good public transportation, so I'll be taking bus, trains, as often as I can. Yeah, almost all the time. Okay, that'll be DC signing off for everybody. Thank you very much, Dave, for these 2 very interesting tags. And I hope that I've answered correctly. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a good Sunday.